Hello, hello, my friend. It has been a little while since I've done research on vintage brooches. And vintage brooches are one of my favorite things. I absolutely love finding and selling jewelry. And I want to do a new one since the economy has kind of been in the crapper. I mean, who are we kidding? Like, there is not as much disposable income out there as there has been in previous years. However, I wanted to do this to show you people still have disposable income. Maybe not people like me or you, but there are people out there that still have disposable income. They still are buying brooches for hundreds and thousands of dollars right now. So all of these I'm going to show you have sold on eBay in the last 90 days. These are not my sales. I wish they were my sales. These are not my sales. This is a research video. So I'm going to show you the brooches. I will show you how much they sold for. If it was an auction, I will tell you what it started at. I have no clue what the sellers paid for these items. So unfortunately, I cannot give you that information, but I'm going to show you these and I think you'll be really, really surprised at how many brooches are still selling right now in this economy for really, really good money. All right, first up is going to be this Eisenberg original sterling silver bunch of flowers brooch. It does say it is vintage and marked. This one was an auction. It got 7 bids. It was started at $799 and it was a 7-day auction. And it ended up at that $1,375 with 4 different bidders. So we'll take a look here. Beautiful green stones on this one. And you can see it does have a gold vermeil over top of the sterling. They are pointing out here there is a stone missing, so it does have some imperfections. And as you're seeing, there are a lot of pictures. And when you have a brooch that's worth hundreds of dollars, you want to show every single angle you possibly can. I will zoom in here. You can see this says Eisenberg original and also says sterling. So you definitely want to make sure you catch that mark on it. And here is the back. So there's some tarnish, there's some wear. Look at this. This, my friends, would have been my front picture. I would not have put it not glowing because I think they would have gotten more money from it if they had shown this picture first. So amazing, amazing sale, $1,375 on this Eisenberg original sterling silver brooch. Next up is one I really want you to know to watch out for, and that is poured glass. So this is a vintage poured glass camellia brooch, Maison Gripois. Gripois is simply glass for Chanel 1930 Paris Rare. This one sold for $1,424. And here you can see this is a pretty small brooch. It's not big. It is 24 grams, so fairly lightweight. I do not see that it's sold, so I'm not sure how that seller verified it was made for Chanel. But watch for poured glass brooches because even unbranded ones can sell very well. Up next is a Takahashi vintage hand-carved owl brooch. This one was started at $9.99, $10. It was a 7-day auction. There were 5 bidders, and the bidding ended at $1,425. Beautiful, beautiful owl brooch. I'm not sure how they identified it as Takahashi, but amazing sale. They started at $10. So collectors obviously knew something as far as value, and this one was an amazing sale. Next up is a name that we have seen several times throughout the history of me doing these research videos, and that is Iradj Moini. This is a large statement pineapple brooch. This one sold for a best offer on $1,600. And here you can see the other photographs of it. Beautiful, beautiful brooch. And here on the bottom is that Iradj Moini. So in my experience, all of the Iradj Moinis are signed, so you would be able to easily identify them. and amazing sales. So this pineapple is not sterling. It is not any precious gemstones or metals, and it's still sold for close to $1,600. Next up is a name that I know well, and if you have watched any of my jewelry videos, you will also know this name. This is a vintage Schreiner floral cluster Pinner brooch, gold blue rhinestone, New York. It does say it is marked. This one was an auction. It got 35 bids and ended at $1,800. This is another one that was started at just $9.99. And this one was only put on a 3-day auction. There were 23 different bidders for those 35 bids. So amazing sale at $1,800. Beautiful, almost like a yellow topaz color on those leaves, and the blue as well. Now here, let's see if we can find this mark. There it is, your Schreiner New York. Now Schreiner does have a lot of unmarked pieces as well. Unfortunately, I'm not much help with identifying them if they are not marked. But there are a lot of good jewelry groups over on Facebook that you can check out and post pictures if you believe you have a Schreiner. And this one was an amazing sale. Again, $10 start, 3-day auction, 23 bidders, sold for $1,808. We have another Schreiner, and this one was a buy it now. So really pay attention with some of these higher. You can either price high, let it sit, or you could run a 3-day auction and be brave, and you never know what you're going to get. So that really depends on how much risk you want to take. This is a Schreiner New York garden party brooch, earring, and radical rhinestone rare set, sold for $1,995. And here we'll take a look at the photos. Really, really pretty purples and blues in this one. Several different shades of purples as well. Now, here you can see on the brooch is marked as well as the earrings. So these are all marked pieces that would easily be identified, and great, great sale. Very, very close to $2,000. Up next is a vintage signed 1971 Christian Dior Grappois Navarrete rhinestone Pinner brooch. This one was an auction, but it only got 1 bid. It sold for $1,999. And I actually have a gorgeous Christian Dior in my store right now. Here you can see that Christian Dior Germany as well as the item number on that one. This one's a bigger one, definitely a statement piece. It is over 4 inches, and amazing sale. They only got 1 bid, but this one wasn't a $10 start. This one they started at that $19.99. Up next are some Tiffany brooches, and these are 18 karat gold. So keep that in mind. I was just searching for vintage. I wasn't looking for precious metals, but I didn't necessarily negate to put them in here. So this is a set of Tiffany and Co Seagull pens. These sold for a best offer on $19.99. Most Tiffany and Co pieces are going to have some value, but if you're paying up, I would recommend making sure that you get a value if you're paying up, because some of them sell lower than one would expect. So here you can see all of these are marked Tiffany and Co. They all are marked 18 karat as well. So very, very easily to identify. And you can see here they're showing somebody had them on first dibs for $2,500 for 2. So that's just showing a price comparison, and great, great sale for small brooches. Again, they are 18 karat gold, but a great, great sale. Next up is another Schreiner, and the blues and pinks on this are phenomenal. This is a Schreiner New York signed vintage large flower blue and purple glass brooch pen. This one was $2,250, but they did accept a best offer. I do not know the offer. You can use eBay's research or TerraPeak tab on your phone if you are interested in looking these up, as long as you're watching this video soon after I make it. So here you can see the brooch with the quarter and in somebody's hand. This is definitely a statement piece. Very large, 3-dimensional, great, great colors on these. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And here on the back, you can see that Schreiner New York there again. It is almost always in that oval shape. And amazing sale, best offer on $22.50. Next up is this vintage Victorian gold-filled micro mosaic spaniel dog. This is a very, very nice piece with the little spaniel. This one sold for a best offer on $2,450. And we will take a look. Here is the back. And again, this is just gold filled, so this is not a solid gold piece, but amazing, amazing sale at $2,450. Here is another Schreiner, and interestingly, why can I not say interestingly? Interestingly enough, they decided to put the back of this brooch as the front picture. Not sure why, maybe for construction, because this one is an unsigned Schreiner New York. This one sold for a best offer on $2,500, but look at how phenomenal the front is. I'm not sure why they chose to put the back. Honestly, I would have put the front as my front photo. Here you can see beautiful, beautiful brooch. And I'm not sure how they identified this as Schreiner. You can see it does have a clip on there for the shirt or to be used as a pendant. Beautiful, beautiful brooch. Unsigned Schreiner. Again, I would recommend some of the vintage jewelry groups on Facebook if you have pieces you think might be Schreiner, because there is such a wealth of knowledge on those groups. I unfortunately do not have it, but I know a good brooch when I see one. This one definitely would have caught my eye. Next up is another name you should be familiar with if you've watched my research videos. This one is a rare vintage Marcel Boucher metallic enamel rhinestone flower pinner brooch. Now this one does have the authenticity guarantee. This one was an auction. It got 53 bids. There were 13 different bidders, and this one was started at $99. So from $99 all the way up to $2,500. This one was a 7-day auction. And we'll take a look here. This is a Marcel Boucher I would not have thought was worth that much. However, it was. So here you can see that MB and the patent pending as well. Again, this one's kind of flooring me, but amazing, amazing sale at $2,500 with 13 different bidders. Next up is another name we see all the time, and that is Crown Trifari. This is a Clair de Lune, Moonstone, Demi Lune, Alfred Felipe. Alfred Felipe is always money. This is a brooch and clip-on earring sold for a best offer on $2,600. So here we'll take a look at these photos. Beautiful, beautiful cabochons on this one and sapphire blue rhinestones as well. Here you can see the back of the earring. There is that Trifari mark. I didn't see it on the brooch. Oh, I did see it. I did. Ah, it's right there. There's that Trifari with the crown on it there in the top right. So it is marked. You would be able to identify it. And Worth Point is a really great tool to get the value of some of these higher dollar brooches and be able to try and figure out a worth. So Worth Point shows you a 10-year history. You can use a free eBay research that shows you 3 years of history. But in my experience, it's much, much better to use Worth Point because you get 10 years of history. With rare items, I think it's a little more important. And this was a great sale at a best offer on $2,600. This one's kind of incredible. It sold for $3,000 and their title is 3 words. Vintage fish brooch. That is it. So that goes to show you if you have really good inventory and items, it doesn't really matter what you put in the title. People will find it and people will buy it. However, most of us don't have that much amazing inventory like this. So let's take a look at this fish brooch. Looks like a beautiful blue topaz there. And I'm not sure if this is sterling. I'm looking for a sterling mark. It looks like it could be a sterling and blue topaz. So they are showing here it does have 2 cracks or chips on that topaz stone. And here on the back, yes, I was right. There is a sterling mark, and there is a name. I think it's actually Eisenberg. I would almost put money that this is an Eisenberg fish brooch. Pretty sure that's an Eisenberg. So if it were me, I would look up Eisenberg fish brooch. You can see here it's 81 grams. So this is quite a bit of sterling and topaz. Amazing, amazing sale. And again, I believe this is an Eisenberg. Next up is a Hobé, which is another name that we see quite a bit. This is a vintage rare early unsigned Hobé rock crystal rhinestone silver gold tone brooch. This one sold on a best offer of $3,750. Very, very high. So when I tell you people are still buying these, they are. Not everyone is being hurt by this economy. Now, I want to zoom in close and show you all of these little flower petals are filigree. I actually sold a bracelet that had the same kind of floral filigree for $1,700. So the floral filigree Hobé pieces are definitely worth quite a bit. I think mine was actually an unsigned piece as well that I had identified through the auction house through the customer that provided it. So here you can see some better pictures with the light. Definitely a good thing to show when you have these high dollar brooches. An amazing sale. This one was coming in close to $4,000. Next up is another Alfred Philippe, and another one they were brave and started at $10. This went all the way to $5,000. There were 18 different bidders. This was a 7-day auction. $5,000. Look at this. Remember what this looks like, because if you get lucky enough to find one, you need to know to grab it. Now, here you can see it is etched sign there. That might be somebody identifying it as their property. And amazing, amazing sale. And this one is a pearl belly. So you're used to seeing those jelly bellies. This one they're calling a pearl belly. And great, great sale at $5,000. Here is another early unsigned Hobé. This one also has that little filigree flower work. So definitely remember the look of those. This one sold for $49.99. No best offer on this one. Look at those colors. Beautiful filigree floral work, which again is what was on my bracelet that I sold. It sold in like a day. So this one is actually almost like a clip-on scarf clip or brooch as well. You can see it lifts up there. It is not marked. So remember these little filigree flowers for sure. And they are very common on unsigned Hobé pieces. And this one was a great, great sale at $5,000. Next up is a Jelly Belly. Speaking of Jelly Bellies, this is another Alfred Philippe Trifari Jelly Belly. This one was another auction. This one, the auction only lasted 5 days. It was started at $1,495. There were 7 different bidders, and it ended up at $5,100. So Alfred Philippe Trifari Jelly Bellies are definitely money. The enamel on this one looks pretty good. There are a couple of little splotches I see there. You can see those couple of splotches did not stop this thing for selling for $5,100, right? Amazing sale. It's almost like a turquoise Tiffany blue on this one. Really, really pretty. Amazing sale. I could see the end of that Trifari on one of those, but definitely watch out for Trifari Jelly Bellies. With this one, we are up to our top 3. This is a Frascarolo vintage enamel diamond lion head brooch, 49.84 grams. This one sold for a best offer on $6,500. Look at how beautiful this is. Here is what you need to look for. You can see the Depose made in Italy model. And this one is gold. You see that 750, that is a gold marking. So definitely one of the reasons why, but remember that marking, remember this look, and keep an eye out for brooches like this. Next up is another 18 karat gold. This is a Tiffany. If you think that 18 karat gold doesn't get missed, it can. It is, of course, very rare that it is missed, but it happens. So make sure you know what these look like. This is a vintage 50s, 60s, 18 karat large Tiffany brooch. A lot of gold on this one. Definitely a lot of gold that contributed to that price. Here you can see that Tiffany and Co. made in France, 18 karat. This one looks like it's actually a fur clip, but amazing, amazing sale. Best offer on 8,500 on this one. So very, very impressive sale. Watch for Tiffany and Co. And of course, always watch for gold. Number one selling for this video is going to be a Van Cleef and Arpels butterfly pin brooch or clip. This is another 18 karat gold wood vintage VCA. This one sold for a best offer on $10,500. It's wood. It is gold, but it is wood. Now, here you can see very, very clearly the Van Cleef and Arpels. It is also numbered. It looks like 118 of maybe 270, I think. Maybe. But really, really cool wood brooch and amazing sale coming in close to $10,000. All right, friend, that was the end. I hope your mind is blown as well as mine. And it's good to know that even though a lot of us may be struggling right now, all of us are not. And the all of us that are not are the ones you want to have as your buyers, especially if you have this high dollar stuff. So remember the names, remember the looks in this video. I hope you find some of these brooches. If you have found stuff like this out in the wild, let us know down in the comments where you found it, how much you paid, share, so people know, though it might be rare to find them, it can be done. I have found a Florenza at the flea market for $25. It was only about a $350 sale, but still off a $25 buy. Absolutely amazing. So I appreciate you watching. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week so far, and I will see you on the next one.